morning. Well, it's coming to 10 o'clock. I'll actually make sure I made earlier today, earlier yesterday. Today, you get beer, Ivan? No, I'm just gonna get a pack of smokes. I don't want to touch my savings, right? Yeah, I was gonna sleep, Ivan. Yeah, I had a good sleep. Yeah. Yeah. Well, scarcity will haul the water. Oh, yeah, we'll haul the water. We'll haul the water. Better company than Hollywood, guys. That's crazy, I know. Yeah. That's why all the hot actors are gonna what? They're gonna be sending in their reels. Why do they all want to work for you? Because they saw my videos. Yeah, their agent will tell them, yeah, if what Ivan said in his videos is true, his company is blowing all the water. He can easily pay you guys more than what you make in Hollywood, and give you much better perks than what Hollywood can give you. And you're gonna be trying to be world famous with them. I mean, this is also your ticket out of the Hollywood system. Ivan's willing to pay you all your millions and give you freedom. But in Hollywood, you're not free yourself. Obviously, that's how it works, right? So all the Hollywood actors, managers, agents are gonna tell them to beg, obviously. Don't worry, guys. We're gonna call the office. We're gonna try and get you the part for the Zane's movie. It's crazy. They tell they tell all the Hollywood actors, yeah, don't worry, we're all gonna call, try and get you the job. This is your ticket out of Hollywood. Yeah, Ivan's coming through in Hollywood. That's right. Independent from the Hollywood system was better than independent film studio was better than Hollywood. Putting out bigger budget movies, right? Forget that, right? Yeah, bigger budget movies. Movies that Hollywood cannot afford to make. The only way Hollywood can afford to make an $800 billion movie, they have to charge more for their tickets, like $25, $26 for the tickets to make their money back, right? If it's a big movie, obviously they have to charge more. That's the only way they'll make their money. Which they're not going to do. It's $26 for tickets. It's too expensive for the customer, obviously. For a Hollywood movie, whereas an Ivan movie, people will gladly pay more money for it because Ivan movies are special. But their movies is not. It's a different situation, right? Yeah, we can't charge like $26 for a ticket because the people won't less people will see our movies. Obviously, because it's too expensive for a ticket holder, and all these actors are all normal. And everything was Ivan movies are special. The world doesn't mind paying $135 for their box set because Ivan is special. Obviously. And don't forget, it's a movie trilogy, right? Don't forget that, right? So your company's like George Lucas, Lucasfilm. Yeah, George Lucas had his own independent studio, Lucasfilm, which was not a part of Hollywood. But his company, even though it was a big studio, it wasn't better than Hollywood, right? As George Lucas peaked at like 100 million for his Star Wars movies, for his prequels, and his originals were made for a bit less. Whereas my company's independent from Hollywood, like George Lucas, except it's better than Hollywood. I'm actually putting out better budget movies. I can pay the actors more money than what they make in Hollywood on average, in most cases, anyways. Yeah, yeah. Hollywood can only compete with me with the front end money. The front end money, Hollywood can compete with me and VJ. But the back end money, there's no competition. They can't compete with me in the back end money. That's why they're gonna tell all the actors, yeah, we can't compete with the actors' agents. Yeah, we can't compete with Sky Source, obviously. Like Ivan and Sky Source can pay you more. Yeah, Sky Source can pay them more, obviously. That's from Zara. Yeah. So the front end money they can compete with you. Yeah, they can. If offering an actor 13 million, they can easily pay an actor $13 million, $12 million, $11 million. For the front end money, they can compete with me, VJ, a little bit more. But back end money, there is no competition. They can't compete with the back end. That's why they feel like shit. They can't compete with me, VJ. Obviously. The agents know that, yeah, they can compete with Ivan with the front end, but not the back end. The back end is in the billions, right? This company for the movie merchant game. Ivan easily paid the actors more than Hollywood. Yeah, give them bigger royalty paychecks. Give them bigger points, right, for the back end profits, obviously, of the movie merch and the game, obviously. Well, the game they don't get back end profits, but I can give them more money for the merch and the movie for profits, right? Whereas the game they get a base salary. I'm not giving them a piece of the game. Yeah, because otherwise they're duping when you overpay them, Ivan, and they're ripping you off. My house guys rip me off. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm not gonna have those guys rip me off. And they go. Yeah, I work tomorrow. Yeah. Ugh. Yeah. Yeah. That's gross. I farted. It's disgusting. Yeah. Yeah. You know, I mean, being a movie star with UVG is fucking cool. Yeah, it is. That's all I actually want to work for, obviously. Because I know being a movie star with IMG is fucking cool, obviously. Being a movie star with IMG is cool, obviously. And experience that glorious sense of fame with them, be world famous with them, travel with them and everything, and get paid all that money. That's their ultimate dream. Obviously. All the B-list actors, their ultimate dream is to be an A-list actor in Hollywood. Their dream is to be an A-list actor in Hollywood. Their ultimate dream is to be a famous movie star with Ivan and BJ and get paid all that money for it and be world famous, obviously. Be part of that buzz of them, obviously. If that famous buzz of them. Yeah, I want to be part of that buzz of Ivan and BJ for the movie. Yeah, all the actors all want to be part of that famous buzz of BJ. That's why their agents all calling my office. They're begging to say such a word. It's crazy. Yeah. They all went out of Hollywood. Well, the agents will tell them, this is your ticket out. Yeah, they will. All the managers' agents will tell the actor, yeah, this is your ticket out of Hollywood. Ivan can pay you more and give you better perks and experience that will life in them. Yeah, don't worry, we're gonna call and try and get you work. That's what the agents are gonna tell the actors, right? Yeah. Ivan's coming both on the water, man. What he said is real, is true, man. He can pay you guys with more money, man, than what you make in Hollywood, guys. Yeah. As A-list actors make like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 million in Hollywood. That's how much I'm paying rising stars, the biggest actors. As Michael B. Jordan only made like 4 million for Sinners, man. He's an A-list actor. That's how much I'm paying B-list actors for my company, man. Easy to pay the Hollywood actors more than me, but on average, I'm being on Hollywood. But there is exceptions where Hollywood could pay more. Like Robert Downey Jr. signed a $100 million deal for the Avengers movies. So there's exceptions where Hollywood can pay as much as Scott obviously, but on average, I'm beating out Hollywood. I can pay the actors more money than what they make in Hollywood. The Hollywood actors. That's some sour. Yeah, they know my company's top notch too, like Incredibles, right? Yeah, I can give you much better perks, man. His company is top notch, just top notch. Nice facilities, a nice private jet, my nice home in their house, my yacht, nice perks. All the actors, right? But they can bet all they want after the movie set up. I'm not gonna be signing. They go, they're gonna like all be left behind. Here we go. Not how this guy's doing this, I'm sorry. Yeah. 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 Yeah, it's actually funny. Like your film studio is independent. Yeah, it's an independent film studio. It's not a part of Hollywood or Bollywood. But yet, it's a better film studio than Hollywood, obviously. Because I'm putting out bigger budget movies, and I can pay the actors more money than what they make in Hollywood. It's better, obviously. It's the new Hollywood, my company. I can pay the actors more than what they make in Hollywood. Yeah, but what I'm paying the Hollywood actors, these actors in Hollywood don't make that money on average, or they don't make that kind of money. As A-listers make like 10, 15, 20. Like bigger A-listers in Hollywood make like their 10, 15, 20 in Hollywood, those guys. On average, that's how much they make. That's how much I'm paying smaller A-listers for their contracts. Smaller A-listers for my movie, they sound like 20 plus million deals. 20, 25, 28, $30 million deals. So these are smaller A-listers. That's how much bigger A-listers make in Hollywood. Like Brad Pitt made 30 million for F1. And John Boyega sound like a 27, 20 million deal, almost the amount of money Brad Pitt made. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, and Brad Pitt's a bigger A-lister. That's why I can easily pay the actors more. Give them a bigger chunk of the role they use for the movie and everything. That's why they're all gonna bet because my comic books have water. Oh. Alright, I'm not kidding around, man. I don't want to go back, man. Please resign with that movie. I'm like, no, guys. You're not living that movie, you crazy people. I'm not gonna say that in that movie. Ugh. Yeah. So you see them as crazy people, yeah, because it's common sense. You don't have the same fucking actors in your next movie, but because the actors are desperate, they don't care. Obviously, they're still gonna bet. Obviously, they're desperate. Obviously, they want to be saved. They don't want to be left behind, and they know my carnival's on water, and I got them on Hollywood. That's why they're begging. Obviously, yeah. Ivan, please, we don't want to go back. We want to work for you, Ivan. Like, guys, I'm not gonna have a same actors in my movie, and they don't care. Ivan, we don't care about all the actors. Just fucking resign us, Ivan. I'm like, no, I'm not resigning you, you crazy people. Yeah. Yeah. The job maker Fonzo, she wants to Idris Elba, Ariana Grande, Andy Serkis are all gonna beg. Oh yeah, they will. Watch, Ivan. Once the luxury hotel happens in Switzerland, at Virgin Resort, and you end off with a carpet bed, and the party happens, and the 2 day party happens, the drink's over with. Watch, you're gonna see John Megan and all the hot actors begging you to resign them. Yeah. Because they were saved, man. They got to experience that worldwide fame immediately. They were saved. They know when they go back to Hollywood, they're going to be left behind. And the side attention, their careers is side attention. That's why they're begging. Obviously, they don't want to be left behind. They want to be saved. Now, my company goes all the water. Don't forget that. You know, I can pay them more and give them better perks. John will be lucky to get a 7-8 million contract after Zanis. Avon Jose maybe 3.5. He's lucky. 3 million contract he'll get after Zanis. Danielle Manette maybe a 3 million contract. Andy Serkis will be lucky to get a $10 million contract, $9 million contract in Hollywood. I just Alba maybe 12, 13 million. He'll be lucky to get $14 million in Hollywood. As Eva set maybe 9 million in Hollywood. I can easily pay them more, guys. Got what I'm saying? You know, in Hollywood, they're not gonna make that. Yeah, they're more successful. I open more doors to them, but their careers are the side attention. They're not the main event. That's why they feel like shit and they're gonna back, obviously. They don't want to be the side attention. They want to be the main event in the region. Yeah, even though I'm going to be successful in Hollywood, like I can open more doors, I can get paid more money. I'm fucking the side attention. Like, I'm filming my movie, and Ivan's working on The Great Escape. Some fans are tuning into my stuff, but they don't really care about that much compared to Ivan VJ's Great Escape. Yes, they feel like shit, obviously, because their careers are side attention. That's why they're begging, obviously. They don't want to be the side attention. They want to be the main event with VJ, right? They don't want to be the side attention in Hollywood. No. Sorry. Yes, I'm sorry. Yeah. So the actors want to live the life. Yeah, the actors want to live the life with me and VJ as movie stars. I want to live the life with I and VJ for the movie, be famous and be a famous movie star, then get paid all those millions. And then after that, what? Be a famous movie star. Yeah. It's fucking cool being a famous movie star in a big budget movie with I and VJ and the whole world's going crazy about it. You're part of the main buzz. You're trying with I and VJ. Ivan's spoiling with all these perks, like the parties in his $1 million house, his yacht. You're doing that. You're featuring on the magazines with Ivan and VJ. Like, you're a famous movie star with Ivan VJ. And you're the main event with Ivan VJ. You're getting paid so much money for it. And you get your freedom too. It's every actor's ultimate dream, man, obviously. That's why they all want to work for me. Then they all want to leave Hollywood, obviously. Yeah, obviously. And that's why they're begging, because once you do a movie with Ivan VJ, a Sky's movie with Ivan VJ, you're not gonna want to go back to Hollywood. You're gonna want to work for Ivan for the rest of your life until you pass away. That's why all actors are gonna really beg. I'm like, look, man, you can barely want, man. You're not good next movie, guys. You crazy people. I'm not gonna have to say next my movie, guys. Crazy people, man. They're still gonna beg though. The agent will tell them, yeah, guys, beg, be desperate, beg your ass off Ivan to resign. You know, Ivan's coming to balls all Ivan. He needs to pay you more, guys. For what you make in Hollywood. Yeah, the agent's gonna tell the actors that. Yeah. Beg, guys. Be desperate, and they actually are desperate, and they are beg. After the movie's done, right? Saying stars are gonna beg. The greatest actors like Keanu Reeves, Matt Damon, Michael Jordan, they're gonna beg too, because they don't make. I paid them way more money than what they make in Hollywood. They don't make that money in Hollywood, those guys. And they were world famous with me, and I got them out of Hollywood. They got their freedom. Forget that. It's in Hollywood, they have to do it to make the money. That's how it works. They have to pay a price to make their money. So my guess is the Hollywood actors, they may look, everything looks glamorous, like on paper when you see them in the red carpet. But I guarantee behind the scenes, some of them are suffering. They're depressed. Sometimes they get depressed. You know what I'm saying? They get depressed and everything because they paid a price to make their money. They're a little bit depressed, obviously, but the gatekeepers still gave them a good deal if you want to, because they get to be famous and rich. But they paid a price. That's my point, right? That could lead to depression and all that stuff, right? Knowing that you're not free, you can get depressed about that. Yeah, I have all this money and I'm famous, but man, I'm not free. And the actors can get a bit depressed about that sometimes. Obviously, that's why I always make the joke. All you Hollywood celebrities, you Cheryl sleeping. You know, so I always make that joke, obviously, because I like making fun of Hollywood. Obviously, don't hate Hollywood. I'm saying, yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Whereas for my movies, the actors will not feel depressed because I paid them their millions, more than what they made in Hollywood, in free cash. They have free, they don't have to do anything. So they're a lot more happy working in my movie than they are in Hollywood. Because in Hollywood, they're dirty slaves to the system, obviously. My company, they don't have to do anything. They get their free millions, right? Free millions in cash. More money than what they make in Hollywood, and they get freedom, like with me, Vijay, right now. Because I'm a good man, obviously. Yeah, free millions in cash, right? Yeah. Just like me and Vijay have our freedom, we grant the Hollywood actors their freedom too for our movies. Because I'm not going to be a dirty businessman. I don't want the actors presenting me, and there's nothing worse than the actors seeing Ivan as a dirty businessman. Not, man. Like, all I'm gonna say, I respect Ivan. He's the best boss ever. He's fucking clean. He doesn't let his money and his power corrupt him. No, I don't. I don't let my money and my power corrupt who I am. No, I'm never gonna let my money and power corrupt who I am. I'm a holy man. I'll never make an actor pay to make his money, man. Nah, man, that's cold, man. Yeah, they get their free millions, obviously. Their freedom, obviously, right? Yeah. That's why I told you when I offer some of the Hollywood actors their contract in free millions, right? Some of them might tear up. Because in Hollywood, that doesn't happen. They have to pay to make their millions. Yeah, how does it feel, Keanu Reeves, to make like $200 and be free? Feels good on it. Because his whole life he was a dirty slave in Hollywood. How does it feel, Michael B. Jordan, to make like your 30 something, 40 million deal and be free? It feels good on it. And thank you, you're a good man. They might tear up because in Hollywood they have to do it to make their money. They pay a price, right? That's how it works. And the actors can get depressed about that, right? Behind the scenes, right? Like, yeah, I have all this money, but they're still a bit depressed because they don't have freedom, right? They paid to make their money, right? They're sellouts to the system. I don't think this anymore. There's a reason why VJ cries to me. Victoria Justice wants me to get her the fuck out of Hollywood. VJ's not free. She doesn't have freedom. She wants to free with me. That's why she cries to me, honestly. She wants me to get her out of Hollywood. VJ wants her freedom too, obviously, right? With Ivan. Obviously, but Victoria Justice only cares about me, right? She doesn't really care about anyone else around the world, right? All she cares about is me, obviously. Because I'm VJ's baby. I'm her husband who's why. We have history in the sky. That's all VJ cares about. That's all I care about. I only care about you. She doesn't really care about these other people in Hollywood. Like, duh, that's why she runs away with me once I pay the fee. She only cares about me, right? Yeah, there you go. Don't hate me now. Yeah, Victoria Justice only cares about you because you're fucking her handsome fucking husband who's why, and you got history in the sky. You're her husband. She only cares about you. Yeah, Victoria Justice only cares about me, man. That's all she cares about, right? She doesn't really care about the people in Hollywood. She doesn't really care about those people in Hollywood. Yeah, duh. Yeah. That's why once I pay the fee, Victoria Justice actually she abandons everything in her life and she runs away with Ivan. It's just me and her. Because we're now king and queen, we're now trending every day wherever we go and reels and pages. It's crazy. And we're living the ultimate life to get movie stars. Yeah. I'll be VJ's only friend. But we will become friends with the Hollywood 7 team, obviously. We will become friends with the Hollywood 7 team. Like our presidents. I don't know, James Gunn, Keir Safran, Kevin Feige, whoever I choose as my presidents. Me and VJ will become friends with those guys, obviously. We'll be hanging out. They're guaranteed they're going to invite us to their house for parties, and sometimes we'll go to the theaters together, we'll go to the bar together, all that stuff. Yeah. But it's pretty much just me and VJ, right, when we're king and queen. But because we're not king and queen and we're trending every day, reels and pictures, me and VJ are living life, feeling top of what we're living a ultimate life together, obviously. Yeah. How's my book, by the way? I made $40 billion. You made $40 billion off your book? I know, yeah. She's like, holy shit, that's a lot of money. Are you going to share that with me, sweetie? You're going to share that with me, baby? You know, so I'm like, yes, VJ, whoa, calm down, relax, man. Evil woman. I'm gonna share my thing, chill. You know what I'm saying? Are you gonna share your money with VJ even if it makes a difference? Yeah, I will. I have like $1.5 million in my bank. She's like pork converting me. I'm like, sweetie, chill, relax, man. You don't have to give me that evil look. I'm gonna share your money, man. Chill, man. It smells fucking evil. Yo, you better share that money with me. I'm like, yes, VJ, I will. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna share it with you. Chill. Because she knows that's the only money she has access to. Everything is locked on her. I got her out of Hollywood. That's the only money she has access to. Like, out of the $40 billion, that's why she wants a piece of it. She knows that money, you can get whatever you want and live a life. I want to build that $1 million house with you, get the jets with you, the yachts, get my nice clothes, shoes, jackets, my lipstick, my makeup, my perfume, and I want to get my high-end cars with you. I want to travel most of the best suites, go to clubs, bars, events with you, and restaurants, theme parks, all that stuff. Boat cruise parties, all that stuff. I want to do all that with you. Yeah, VJ, I know. Relax. I'm not sure if my chill. Evil woman, after what I did for you, We go to Vancouver, I'll immediately make an appointment to register for the cards at the branch, Scotiabank branch in Vancouver. And then me and VJ will share the same account. We get our own cards, debit card and Visa. So you want to join an account? Yeah, I want to join an account, but like me and VJ have our own cards. Okay, Ivan. VJ has her own Scotiabank debit card and Visa. I have my Scotiabank debit card and Visa. We share the same account. And once we make that appointment at the bank, that's when VJ has that thought. She now has access to the money. Ivan, let's get our clothes. Let's buy our yachts. Let's build our home in our house. I know it's all pocket change, by the way. If you made that, I don't know, $40 billion off your book, right? Unlimited bank account. Yeah, it's crazy. Will you and VJ hire hair designers to do your hair? Maybe. Or we can just go to a salon. But I mean, I might have my own personal hair designer to design my dreads and everything. Victoria Justice might have a hair designer to do her hair every morning and all that stuff. Yeah. No, the Kardashians have their own like assistants and everything because they're so rich. Chances are me and Vijay will have like a hair designer or something like that. Or we could just do the hair ourselves. Well, I need someone to do my dreads, but Vijay can do her hair herself, or she can have a hair designer do her hair for her. It was we're multi-billionaires. It'd be easy for it to pay all these guys a lot of money, right? Vancouver, yeah. For me and Vijay's movies, me and Vijay get our own trailer, our own dressing room trailer. We have like a whole dressing room with all our clothes for the movie, and we have our own hair designer and makeup artist. Whereas the actors, they have a few makeup artists, and they have to share the trailer. Because the Zayas actors will have their own dressing room too, but they have to share the dressing room. They all share the dressing room together. Whereas me and Vijay have our own personal dressing room. We're the boss, obviously, for the movie, right? Our own big like dressing room for the movie. Because in Hollywood, the actors have dressing rooms. The clothes that the actors wear in movies are what? That's not their real clothes, right? That's clothes that the company pays for that they're wearing for the movie. Obviously. But for the Great Escape, Matt Damon, Mike Jordan, Keanu Reeves, and Sasha Johnson they have their huge dressing room, and they have the hair designer, makeup artist, all those guys do their hair and everything, yeah. And they pick the clothes that they wear for the movie, obviously. They ain't spoiled, man. But Hollywood spoils them like that too, right? Yeah, obviously. That's insane. Yeah. Will you hire a maid? Of course I will. Obviously, me and Vijay don't have time to clean the house. No, I'll hire like two maids. I'll pay the maids like $100K a year. Find two maids who live in Vancouver to clean your house for a year, and you can pay them a good salary. They have families if you pay them a $100,000 salary to clean your house. That's a good deal for those guys, right? I'll have two maids clean my house, me and Vijay's house. The only thing I might do is the dishes. That's it. But even the dishes I don't have to do. The maids can do the dishes for us. The maids take all of Vijay's dirty clothes and put it in the laundry. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you guys have to clean the entire house. How many times a week, Ivan? You have to clean it, like, I don't know, once a week for a year. I'll pay you $100K for it. Two of the maids pay them a $100K. And you can give them raises, like $5,000 raises per year. So the following year they get 105, then 110, then 120, then 130, then 140. They get $5,000 raises, obviously. 100K is a lot of money for a maid, right? They can feed their families with that money, right? Because Vancouver's an expensive city to live in. You got to pay them at least 100K. Don't pay them 40K. No, they need money to live in an apartment or something like that. Pay them 100K. That way they can afford to make a living in Vancouver. Vancouver is a very expensive city to live in, right? Expensive city. It's just like New York. New York is a very expensive city to live in too. Vancouver is expensive city to live in, obviously. Vancouver is more beautiful than New York, obviously, right? Much more beautiful than New York. New York is filthy and dirty, man. Yeah. Los Angeles is pretty filthy too, right? You just like, yeah, Los Angeles is filthy. Yeah, Los Angeles is pretty filthy too. It's a filthy city. Victoria Justice will tell me, yeah, I like Vancouver more than Los Angeles, Ivan. Yeah, I know. Vancouver's more beautiful than Los Angeles. And it's a port city, Ivan, right next to the Pacific Ocean. Yeah, Vancouver's right next to the Pacific Ocean. That's why when I do the boat cruises parties with the actors, the driver will be driving in the ocean, in the Pacific Ocean, man. Like, imagine getting drunk in the Pacific Ocean in a yacht, man. Nice perk for the actors, right? Table reads too by yacht. We sit down in my yacht. The driver drives, and we do table reads in my yacht. How long do table reads for, Ivan? I don't know, an hour and a half to 2 hours. Hour and a half is good enough. Do like an hour and like maybe 45 minutes for the table reads. That's good enough. That way you refresh everyone's mind for the movie, obviously. Guys from Sarah. Yeah. Oh, I work tomorrow. All I gotta do is I can just wake up at 8, wake up at 7:30, go to work at 8. Before you know it, it's 2:40 and you're out of there again. I get my 6 days off. Only gotta work once a week, right? Yeah. I gotta be serious with my savings. I'm gonna have about like 580 saved. I can't touch it this time. I gotta be disciplined. Today I'm not gonna get beer. I'm just gonna get a pack of smokes. Obviously, discipline, obviously, right? But yesterday I got beer. I was stupid, obviously. Yeah. Yeah. So it is cool being a movie star with IMDb. Of course it is. That's every Hollywood actor's dream, man. To be a movie star with Ivan. Yeah, to be featured on the magazines with Ivan and VJ and the commercials with Ivan and VJ. You're part of the main event. You're a big budget movie star, a famous movie star with Ivan and VJ. You experience Iron World fame. You're featured on the posters with Ivan and VJ, the merch and everything. They interview you about the movie and like yeah, the film on top of the world. You're featured on the movie cover, obviously. The 4K Blu-ray movie cover with Ivan and VJ as the major stars in the movie. Yeah, it's fucking cool. You're a part of the main event with Ivan and VJ, obviously. You're a movie star with Ivan and VJ. It's fucking every actor's dream. Obviously, Hollywood actors dream. And I'm paying them more money than what they make in Hollywood. Don't forget that, right? These actors don't make that in Hollywood. They sign making deals with these actors, right? Especially the bigger agents, they sign making deals. That's why they're all begging, obviously. If I could pay them more, man. Like Hollywood's all water, right? You know, Ivan can easily pay us more. I'd rather just work for him than go back to fucking Hollywood. Yeah, but like you're not living that movie. I should bail you one. I'm not gonna be signing you. Yeah. Well, the directors beg too. Of course they will. Chad Selesky will beg. Mel Gibson and Peter Jackson are gonna beg too. I'm like, no, Peter, you're not good for the Great Escape. Yeah, because Peter knows he's not gonna make that money. He's not gonna make $1.7 billion in Hollywood. Not man. All will pay him maybe 15, 20. He'll be lucky to get 100 million, 80 million of the royalties. Peter in Hollywood, which my company got paid like his $1 billion+ after taxes. 1.7 billion after taxes is like 1.2 billion. His agent takes $120 million. That Peter is walking away like $1,080,000,000 in his bank, man. Almost $1 million in his bank. He doesn't make that in Hollywood. He makes like his 15 and like he gets 60, 80 million of the royalties. That's why if Peter Jackson does go back to Hollywood, Hollywood is a letdown. He's like, yeah, but finally his mind, yeah, man, Ivan's kind of blows out of water, man. Like, I'm going back to making peanuts compared to how much money I made for Ivan's movie. I made like my $1 billion for Ivan's movie. And now I'm making like my 15 million for my base. I'm making like 80 million of royalties. Hollywood sucks compared to Sky Source. Yeah, it's a letdown once you work for Sky Source and you go back to Hollywood. It's a letdown. It's a letdown. Yeah, Hollywood's not Sky Source. Yeah, it's not Sky Source. It's not Sky Source. Yeah, man. Like John Boyega goes back to Hollywood. They offer him an 8 million, a 7.5 million contract. He goes back to Hollywood. He's like, yeah, man, Hollywood is not Sky Source, man. Like, Ivan paid me like $28 million. I'm only making like $75 for my movie. Like Hollywood blows. Sky Source blows out of the water. Yeah, they're not spoiling me with the perks that Ivan spoiled me with. Obviously, I'm making way less money. I'm only making like $7.5 million for this movie. Yeah, it's a letdown. Obviously, when they go back to Hollywood, that's why they're gonna beg. They don't want to go back. Like Hollywood's hot water. They want to be safe. I don't forget that, right? Anyways, guys, I'm gonna go upstairs and get some more coffee. I'll be back in a second. Skip over that. Don't hate him, son. Alright, guys, sorry for the long wait. Well, I was just to get my coffee. That's why you're not selling. Well, duh. Ivan, why the fuck would you sell out to the gatekeepers Hollywood system when the billions you make off your book, you can start your own films that you appear in Hollywood, Ivan, and you control all the box office for your movie and your merch and your game, right? Why the fuck would I sell? Like, I have the keys, man. I don't need them to open the door for me. I can open it myself. I have the keys to the kingdom. Yeah, there you go. I have the keys to the kingdom. Sarah. Yo, you have the fucking keys. Yeah, I do. I have the keys to the kingdom. So why the fuck would I sell? I can open the door myself. I'm not gonna have those guys do me, man. I can open the door myself. Those billions are for me, BG off the book. And with that money, I don't know, I make $40 billion off my book, I can start Sky's with BJ. And I can pay the Hollywood actors more money than what they're making Hollywood. Because me and BJ have billions in our bank. I need to pay them more bigger budgets. I can pay them more money than what they're making Hollywood, right? And give them nice points. But only the A-list actors get points. Whereas biggest actors and rising stars don't get shit, obviously. Only the A-listers get the points, get back end money. The biggest actors don't get shit. They just get their salary and they get their merch money, but they only get like $250, $300K of the merch. Biggest actors, and they get a rich salary. They get paid like $1.5 million for the game. But they don't get any money for the film profits. The biggest actors, they're not worth it, obviously. As biggest actors don't have that much value. They have a little bit of value, but they don't really build buzz that much buzz because no one really cares about those guys, right? They're television star actors. Oh, hey, guys, what's that? As when I watched The Rip with Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, all I cared about was Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. I didn't really care about the other actors, right? That's my point, yeah. That's why these actors are not worth. But Stephen Yeun's not a beast actor. Stephen Yeun is like a hybrid A-list actor, rising star like John Boyega. Like he did The Walking Dead, but he was in like Nope. He was in Rip. Like he's doing quite a bit of big budget movies now. So he's like a hybrid A-list actor, rising star. He's pretty much like a rising star kind of guy. But when I saw the movie, all I cared about was Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. I didn't really care about the other actors, right? That's why the biggest actors are not worth that much, obviously, because no one really cares about them that much, right? But they have some value. They're very talented actors, but they don't, like, you know what I'm saying? No one really cares that much about them. That's why I'm not going to overpay you guys having to do me, man. If their agents want like $12 million for biggest actor, I'm like, no, guys, they're not worth that. They're not worth it, man. I'm not going to have these guys do me, man. Their biggest actors, television star actors. I'm not going to pay a television star actor $12 million. Are you crazy? They get like 2.5, 3. Don't hate him. It's like $4 million. That's good enough for those guys. They don't make that in Hollywood, right? In most cases, anyways. Yeah. And B's act, you need to balance B's actors with A's actors for a movie item because B's actors don't really affect my budget. They only cost me $2-3 million on a budget, $4 million on the budget. It's not that expensive. Whereas the A's actors, they cost me a lot on the budget. That's why you have to be careful how much you pay all these guys, right? Especially for The Great Escape, you have to be careful. Yeah, you have to be careful, man. That's what I'm saying. Why are they B-list actors? Because they're not on the big screen. They're not big famous movie stars. They're on the small screen. That's why they're B-list actors. Obviously, no him saying yeah. Whereas the A-list actors are the ones who you see on the big screen. Those are the A-listers. They're famous movie stars. The B-list actors are not famous movie stars. No, they're television stars. That's why they're B-list actors. Obviously, they're lower ranked, right? But there are some A-list actors who do television. There's context, obviously. Right? There are some A-list actors who are doing television too, but most A-list actors are on the big screen, and the B-list actors are all on the small screen, obviously, because there's no room for them in the big budget movie market. That's why they're all doing television, because there's little room for them in the industry. That's why all these guys are doing television, as I explained in my video a couple of years ago, right? Very little room for the B-list actors because the A-list actors dominate the market. It's supply and demand, right? That's why most B-list actors, if you do see them in a big one movie, chances are they land in a minor role, not a major role. There's exceptions where they can land in major roles, but it's very rare. Chances are they land in a minor role in a big budget movie because there's very little room for them in the market because it's dominated by the A-listers, supply and demand. That's why they're all doing television because there's no room for them in the big budget movie market. That's why they're all in television. Does that make sense? Yeah. Like they're doing television because there's very little room in the big budget movie market. That's dominated by the A-list actors. There's very little room for them. That's why they're all doing television, right? Oh, hey, guys, I'm saying, yeah. But if you can make it to Hollywood and you have a successful television show, you're still successful. The biggest actors are still successful as they're doing a successful television show. They're still successful, but like their dream is obviously doing big budget movies, but it's tough. It's not easy, right? Hollywood is a competitive business, obviously. Yeah, that's why for the biggest actors, all the biggest actors who are in my movie will become A-list actors after they do my movie. They know I will open more doors for them in the industry. Whereas the A-list actors are already A-listers, especially the bigger ones. The bigger A-listers doesn't get any bigger than that. The only thing the only thing will happen, they can get paid more money in Hollywood, their network will go up, but they're already A-list actors. They don't struggle in roles. That's the bigger ones, right? Yeah, that's my point, right? Yeah, yeah. So even the bigger A-listers will beg for word, beg to be signed them. Yeah, even though these guys are A-list actors, they're not as big as me and BJ, right? They know when to go back to Hollywood. Even they're the side attention to A-list actors. That's why they're begging to do. Yeah, I just want to work for you. I don't want to go back to Hollywood. I know, guys, but you're not going to the next movie. Not having to do my taxes, Sarah. Yeah, man. Yeah. That's why Scott's a wall of water. Anyways, guys, this is Real Regular Show. I'm Aaron saying on peace. Peace out, guys. 100%. Peace.